All right, folks, you want USC coverage. We have always delivered since we've been around for 4 or 5 years, but have under-delivered recently. So we are doing our best to deliver USC. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, as we bring you the best discussion, debate, and analysis in college football. So if you want this to continue, of course, smash the like button. Bring us a comment or two, what you think about the situation there at USC or across college football. And, of course, subscribe and share the videos. We've got Alicia De Artola on the line from Reign of Troy. And let's talk about the recruiting class because, yeah, it slid down the rankings. Everybody's zeroed in on just a number in terms of were you top 5, top 15, where were you? And when it says less than what it's supposed to be for that name brand, then there are concerns, and then you throw everything else around it. And, of course, it's what we discussed, Alicia. But still, a lot of talent in a hall that ranked, according to 247 Sports, as number 3 in the Pac-12, number 20 in the nation.
Yeah, there is some really good talent, and I think the talent that USC lost has definitely drawn the headlines. But you look at guys like Drake Jackson, who was a huge pickup on the early signing day. USC needed that help up front on the defensive line, or I don't know, they might shift him out to outside linebacker. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. But they needed that guy in the trenches on the defensive side of the ball. They pick up two really good tight ends actually in Jude Wolfe and Ethan Ray, although Ethan Ray has fallen off a little bit because of an injury. Raylan Goforth is a really, I think, underrated linebacker out of St. John Bosco. He was the MVP of that league, and one of the best leagues in the country, and he's a little bit of an underrated guy who could come around. Kyle Ford obviously is the biggest name on the board too. Brew McCoy and Puka Nacua are huge losses, but Kyle Ford could be better than both of them when all is said and done. Unfortunately, he's also coming off of an ACL injury. So one of the interesting things about this class is how many guys are coming off of season-ending injuries in high school. And part of me wonders if Kyle Ford finishes his senior season, where does he rank in the end? If Max Williams, cornerback out of Sarah, if he finishes his senior year, does he rank a little higher? There's a lot of guys who maybe were limited for that reason. Ethan Ray is another guy. So maybe the class ranks higher if some of these players are healthy through the end of their season. But at the same time, that just goes to show that USC is also picking up a bunch of guys that are coming off of serious knee injuries. So there are some questions there, but undoubtedly talent that is reinforcing this team, particularly at some positions that USC needed to fill in some gaps. It's just that normally USC's filling gaps with, a handful of 5 stars and a bigger handful of 4 stars, and then they're filling in the class with 3 stars, where this year it's a majority. I think it's 18 3 stars and then 24/7 Sports composite, which is probably double what USC normally takes as far as the 3-star caliber players. If you're thinking of guys who are projects or who maybe have, one identifiable skill that you're really looking at really, really fast, but you just need to sort of round them out into full-time players, or guys who are just playing in leagues that are under the radar and you're getting in on the ground floor with them. Instead, that's the bulk of USC's class. The bulk of USC's class is guys who you're hoping to develop, and then you're sprinkled around with the, Jason Rodriguez's and Drake London's and Kyle Ford's and Drake Jackson's and the higher level guys. But it's hard to balance because this class isn't a total disaster. It's just, I think USC was shopping in a different sort of tier than they normally are as far as getting the talent.